friends, and my dear students. I should first compliment SIIMS, particularly the director and the faculty, for making an attempt to organize a 2-day conference of this magnitude, and have brought in such eminent resource people to talk to you. SIIMS is only 3 years old, and one should have the guts to plan an event like this. So I once again compliment all you, particularly the director. You must give him a hand for that. Now for the friends from outside, I need to give a brief background of SIIMS. This is a daring venture to begin with. The Shakti Group has lands in Coimbatore as well. We could have situated this school in Coimbatore. But our founder thought differently. He felt the talent is available everywhere, not only in cities. It could be from the most rustic rural villages. So why not have a school in Pollachi and provide an opportunity for these young people to graduate into management science? And that's how this was thought of. And rightfully, the theme of the institution, you might have noticed in the invitation, Unleashing Leadership for Emerging India. The emerging India is not confined to the metropolis. The emerging India is everywhere. It could be in villages as well, because everything is got connected today. So we have to unearth leadership from these rural areas. So that is the theme of this institution. There are enough and more leaders everywhere. There is no dearth for leaders in India. But are they extending leadership? The difference between being a leader and extending leadership. I'll talk about it a little later. There are any number of leaders, but we see a real vacuum in India. When I say leadership, it is not only the political area. It could be anywhere. A principal of a college, a headmaster of a school, a dean of a hospital, a mayor of a corporation, a chief minister of a state, a prime minister of a nation. So there are leaders. People compete for the leadership. But are they really extending leadership? So there is a difference between being a leader and extending leadership. This is one thing you've got to bear in mind. Secondly, there is a leader in every one of us. There is a leader in every one of us. There is a manager in every one of us, because we do manage difficult situations, knowingly or unknowingly. So leadership and management is there inherent in every person. So the question is how to bring it out. That's where the business schools become relevant. I can cite 3 examples. One is Mahatma Gandhi. You know, when he was a student, he did not have the courage even to stand up and say, "Yes, sir," when his name is read out for attendance. Such a timid introvert was Mahatma Gandhi. When he became a lawyer of the Privy Council in London, he could not stand up and argue the case. But then what happened? He became the most celebrated personality of the 20th century of the world. Another example is our own, the darling of the youth, former President Kalam, born in a rural rustic Rameshwaram, ended up as the President of India, recipient of the Bharat Ratna. How was all this possible? Another, our own Tamilian, the great Kamaraj, again in a rural village. Not even a middle class, somewhat even lower, because I have visited his house. He's less than a middle class. Didn't have the language, English. Never went to a convent or a matriculation school. But then he could decide the destiny of the country. He could select 2 prime ministers. So this transformation takes place. So what I'm trying to arrive at is, there is a leader in every one of you. For heaven's sake, don't suffer from any complex whatsoever. This year, in the IAS examination, the 2 toppers of Tamil Nadu, both are from rural places, who studied in Tamil medium. And they scored very high distinctions. How was that possible? So the transformation has to happen. That is where the business school helps. Otherwise speaking, we are all capable of managing difficult situations, but in the wrong way at times. But a management training and education gives you the right orientation to emerge as great managers and leaders. Again, when the right man is there in the right place, everything works. Do you agree with me? Do you or not? You have to be interactive. When the right man is there in the right place, everything works. One wrong man can disrupt a whole organization. Have you noticed? Go to the government offices. One good government servant can bring about a change. I remember a collector in Coimbatore, I don't want to name. He brought about a great change in Coimbatore. He improved the resources of the corporation. He brought about changes in the management, introduced systems, make it very professional, and to a great extent that continues even to the very day, and people do remember it. So when the right man is there in the right place, everything works. When you have a right director of a business school, Dr. Ramakrishnan, the business school prospers. When the right faculty is there, the school prospers. When the right students are there, it gets great height. Undakiya. Kadila Tamil பேசலாம்ல? தமிழ்ல தான் பேசணும் இல்லையா? ஆனா கூட நான் கோட்டெல்லாம் போட்டிருக்கீங்களே. நாங்கெல்லாம் வேற இவங்கெல்லாம் போட்டுருக்கோம். So when the right man is there in the right place, everything works. I will give you a few names who were men of destiny. A cultural renaissance took place in India because of one man, the great Shankara. The world waited for one, the Sanatana Dharma waited for one Shankara to bring about a cultural renaissance. One man, the right man. Number two, Raja Ram Mohan Roy, a great reformer from West Bengal. Then comes another man who could synthesize all religions and say truth is one, paths are many, the great Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Then came one Vivekananda, who was a great inspiration to Mahatma Gandhi and to the entire freedom movement. Then, contemporary times, I can cite a few more. Mahatma Gandhi, the freedom of India waited for this one man, even though the freedom struggle was 100 years old when Mahatma came. Till Mahatma Gandhi came, the freedom movement never became a people's movement. It was one Mahatma Gandhi who would make it into a people's movement. Then came one Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, then one Patel, the great Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Then came from our own place, T.N. Seshan. You know that name? Who brought about reforms in election laws. Then one Sri Subramaniam, a man from Pollachi. Have you all heard of the name? He brought in the Green Revolution. So like that I can cite number of Abdul Kalam, who planted a dream. What is the dream of Abdul Kalam? What is the dream of Abdul Kalam? India to be a developed nation by 2020. Believe me, when the name of Abdul Kalam got flashed in the newspapers those days as going to be the next president, believe me, a new cheer and confidence I witnessed everywhere. Then he said, every youth should dream of India becoming a developed nation. That brought about a big change. Recently he went to Colombo. In Colombo, huge crowds he could attract. A man from ordinary Rameswaram who studied in a Tamil medium school, was not economically well off, who could not afford a study in the MIT those days, but ultimately became what he was. So friends, don't suffer from any complex. I am from Pollachi. I am from a rural village. I am from a humming background. I am from a Tamil medium government school. Can I be a good manager? Yes, you can. Many have been. So don't suffer from any complex whatsoever. Then, there is a difference between a manager and a leader. A manager is one thing whose vision gets stagnated within the four walls of his cabin. A leader is one who transcends the small limits and entertains a bigger dream and emerges as a visionary. if you want, you can be a manager for a whole life, or else you can be a leader. What is the difference between a manager and a leader? Have you ever thought of those lines? I would like the faculty to explain this. If they want, they can be a manager for a whole life, or if you want, you can become a leader. To become a leader, as I told you, you have to transcend that little territory, reach out, get sensitized, and be a person of compassion. Then you become a leader. Take our own founder. Had he thought of his own business alone and got stuck within the cabin of his own cabin, he would not have emerged as a national leader. So I want you all to entertain a dream. In fact, an appeal to the director. SIIMS should try not to train them as managers but to emerge as leaders. வெறும் நிர்வாகிகளாக இருக்க விரும்புகிறீர்களா, கால மாற்றத்திற்கு காரணமாக இருக்கக்கூடிய தலைவர்களாக உருவாக விரும்புகிறீர்களா? அப்படிப்பட்ட ஒரு பிரம்மாண்ட கனவை வைத்தால் இந்த கனவு தானாக நனவாகிவிடும். அதற்காக எந்த சிரமமும் வேண்டியது. So have a big dream, but my dear friends, dream of big things. One C. Subramanian can bring a green revolution who hails from production. Why not I be another one? In some field, So don't be only concerned about your salary. The business schools package. The package is not. Join my business school, I will guarantee you this package. Then what? These business schools should compete in producing leaders and not managers. How many of you want to only remain as managers? Lift your hands. How many of you want to become leaders? Lift your hands. So many are trying to become serving. See, our students want to become leaders and not to remain as just managers for the whole life, only concentrating upon the package. You want to serve the nation, and in the process, you also go up with the career. So that is one thing, for which you have to go through an internal adjustment. This is a quotation. Vivekananda just listen to this, what Vivekananda says. Teach yourself, teach everyone his true nature. Call upon the sleeping soul and see how it awakes. Power will come, glory will come, goodness will come, and all that is pure will come when the sleeping soul is raised to self-conscious activity. இது எழுதணுமல்ல சிவத்துல டைரக்ட் எழுதியே. மகாத்மா காந்தியும் விவேகானந்தரை விட்டுட்டு ஒரு இந்திய இளைஞனை ஒரு தலைவனாக்க முடியும்னு நீங்க வெள்ளக்கார புத்தகங்களை படிச்சு கற்பனை பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தீங்கன்னா ஒருபோதும் நடக்காது. முதல்ல இருந்து வீசின்னு நினைக்கிறேன். சத்தத்திலிருந்து நான் யோசிக்கிறேன். Teach everyone, teach yourself. Teach everyone his true nature. Call upon the sleeping soul and see how it awakes. Power will come, glory will come, goodness will come, and all that is pure will come when the sleeping soul is raised to self-conscious activity. இதை விளக்கறதுக்கு நேரம் இல்லை, எனக்கு 10 நிமிஷம் கொடுத்துருக்கிறாங்க. வேற ஒரு நாள் நீங்க அழைச்சிங்கன்னா வரேன். I will explain to you what Vivekananda meant by this. Each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest the divinity by controlling nature, internal and external. Do this either by work or worship or by psychic control of philosophy, by one or more or by all of them, and ultimately, for heaven's sake, be free. This is Vivekananda's prescription. London is sir. I'm sorry, you're from London. Britain, I suppose. He is from. And he's our own man. Please take Vivekananda with you, Mahatma Gandhi with you, Aravindo with you, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa with you, the Saint Ramalinga Vallalar with you. There is no management beyond all these things. For heaven's sake, give them that kind of a management orientation to suit Indian conditions. I know a number of management student graduates studied from big universities from America, came back to India and were a failure. Because that orientation is different from ours. Their conditions are different from ours. So every management school, in my opinion, has to give that orientation to suit Indian conditions. That is why this school has been started here. The guests will be taken to the business school after the inaugural function. Sir, I can tell you, this has been built as per AICTE norms. In fact, we have provided more facilities than what the AICTE wanted us to do. If you step into the business school, you will feel you're somewhere in Bangalore, or you have a friend from Bangalore. May not be. For Bangalore, now match பண்ண முடியாது. அங்க ஒருத்தர் இருக்காரு, கூட கவர்மெண்ட் போலாம். பெங்களூர் சிட்டியில 45 ஏக்கரால ப்ரொஃபஸரா மானும் மயிலும் துள்ளி ஆடுமா அவங்க கேம்பஸ் சொன்னீங்கல்ல. We can't match that. But our chairman said, just because you are studying a business school in Pollachi, don't compromise. Provide world-class facilities. We have excellent faculty. Future is great persons. 5 years from now, believe me, take it from me, SIIMS will be known all over India. I can assure you that. Now I have to conclude by saying one thing. Tamil சொல்றேன். நீ எதுவாக விரும்புகின்றாயோ நீ அதுவாக ஆவாய். The merciful God has given us enough and more to excel in life. But we entertain petty dreams, ideas. We are mean in our thought, action and deed. Elevate yourself. Don't suffer from all these limitations. Lift yourselves up. Read Vivekananda. Then you will know what you are capable of. As I told you, it is rare to be born a human being. Purida? It is rare to be born a human being. You are said to be the crowning glory of all creations. You can be what you want to be. You are the maker of your own destiny. If you succeed, compliment yourself. If you fail, feel sorry for yourself. Don't look around for scapegoats. Purida? If you succeed, compliment yourself. If you fail, feel sorry for yourself. The merciful God has given you everything. In the நிமிடம் முதல் நீங்கள் ஒரு முடிவெடுக்கணும். நான் எதுவாக விரும்புகின்றேனோ நான் அதுவாக ஆக முடியும். I can one day land in a corporate, in a top job. Why not? I know many CEOs. They have started their life from ordinary. Take the great Narayana Murthy. I know him, sir. He told me personally one day he was part of a 7-member family in a village near Mysore. He is the son of an ordinary school teacher, living in one room. And when I traveled in a car with him in Madurai, he showed a particular lane and said, as a small boy, I came with my parents and I stayed in a chowdhury. We could not afford a hotel. Satrathila Tangi, Madurai ku vandirukar Narayana Murthy unga vayasula. You too can become a Narayana Murthy. You too can become anything. Ratan Tata, anybody for that matter. எல்லாத்துக்கும் அப்துல் கலாம் சொல்றது போல ஒரு பெரிய கனவு இருக்கணும். நான் மனது வைத்தால் எதையும் சாதிக்க முடியும், சாதித்து காட்டுவேன் என்கின்ற ஒரு முனைப்பு உங்களிடத்தில் இருந்தால், then the director can help you. If the initiative comes from you, if the effort comes from you, the rest of the school will take care. Don't otherwise expect anything for the school to do. So leave it in the theme. Beautiful theme. I should again compliment the organizers. Innovation and entrepreneurship in a networked world. இதை நான் எப்படி புரிஞ்சுக்கிறேன்னா, the inherent creativity, the inherent creativity in a youth has to be identified in time and provide the necessary drive to help him manifest in a competitive world which stands interconnected but yet remains interdependent. இதுதான் இந்த தீமினுடைய விளக்கம். இன்னொருக்கா படிக்கட்டுமா? எவ்வளவு பேர் படிச்சவங்க இருப்பீங்க? பரவாயில்ல. You are listening to me. Good. I am only talking to you. They are all know more than me. I am only talking to you. You matter. இந்த தீமினுடைய விளக்கம் பாருங்க. தீம் என்னன்னா, innovation and entrepreneurship in a networked world. This is the theme of the conference. This is how I understand children. The inherent creativity in a youth has to be identified in time and provide the necessary drive to help to manifest in a competitive world which stands interconnected yet remains interdependent. It is interconnected but yet interdependent. As the Finance Minister Pranab Mukherjee said yesterday, while speaking on the finance bill, the problems are far too many. No nation can solve it all by itself. The whole globe has to join, leave alone the parties in India. The whole world has to form a united front to solve the problems. If the oil touches $150, no finance minister anywhere in the world can present a budget. Conditions are so serious and difficult. Equally so competitive. So don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Every minute matters. Every minute matters. Don't confine your knowledge to the classrooms, the textbooks and the teacher. Go beyond all that. Get to know more of everything and emerge as great leaders, not just managers என்று கூறி அற்புதமான இந்த ஏற்பாட்டிற்கு டைரக்டருக்கும் மற்ற பேராசிரியர்களுக்கும் மாணவிகளாகிய உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் நம்மை அழைப்பை ஏற்று வந்த அத்தனை பெரியவர்களுக்கும் நம்முடைய நன்றியை தெரிவித்து விடைபெறுகின்றேன்.